Initially, I thought that if a user's intent is strong, like users would jump through any hoop to do whatever they want to do. But I was wrong. Every small change also has a lot of impact. If you're kind of targeting people who are new to broking, you have to make it as simple as possible. Once AI is kind of deeply integrated in an application, it'll notice that the user is struggling with a rejected order or they're facing some issues, and AI will understand why is that happening and it'll kind of solve it then and there itself. There are a handful of people who invest by doing their own research. Normally, they follow tips which are given by their friends, like, hey, this stock it'll be 2x in 1 year, it will be 5x in 1 year. And saying no to such narratives, it really becomes difficult. And maybe urge users to ensure that you know what you're investing in. Focus should obviously be on high intent segments because that's where the true value lies. That's where you'll get phenomenal ROI, and more than that, you'll get a sustainable business.
Welcome to a brand new episode of the VWO Podcast. Recognized as a finalist in the CMA Awards 2025 for Best B2B Podcast. With hours of in-depth conversations, we talk about using CRO to deliver what your users want, while also driving long-term growth for your business. Before we speak to our guest, here's a very quick overview of what we do. VWO is a leading experience optimization platform that enables you to gather in-depth user insights and build winning experiences across your website and mobile app. VWO Copilot, our AI champion, handles the heavy lifting of suggesting test ideas, creating variations, and finding insights, so you can focus on making strategic decisions that drive growth. Now, without further delay, let's jump right back to this conversation.
My name is Subho Mukherjee. I'm an Associate Director EMEA at VWO, and welcome to a new episode of the VWO Podcast. Today, I'm pleased to be joined by Mr. Vipul Sharma, Head of Digital Revenue at SBI Securities. Vipul works at the intersection of product, customer experience, and growth at SBI, where he focuses on building digital products that are intuitive, insights-led, and impactful. SBI Securities, which is part of the State Bank of India group, is a leading investment and financial services platform in India, supporting customers with digital-first tools for investing and trading at scale. Vipul's work centers around improving onboarding and engagement of users while also driving sustainable revenue growth through better retention and monetization. Right. So, with that, let's dive into the conversation. Vipul, thank you for joining us. How are you doing on a Wednesday afternoon?
Doing great. I mean, it was a bit busy, but again, it's a closing year, so yeah, like getting some more time there. But yeah, excited to like deliver exceptional things in the next year.
Wonderful. Do you have any rituals or habits that you do to get you into the zone before a podcast presentation or a big meeting like this?
No, to be honest, no. But like, what I maybe do is I like try to increase my confidence, like try to boost up my morale, maybe by listening to a few songs and all. So,
Nice.
and I believe that if I am, if I don't care about the result, that's when I kind of give the best output I can. So yeah,
Got it. Got it. I don't know if are you a coffee person or a tea person?
coffee.
Coffee person. I mean, the coffee can be a good way to start a ritual like this. Great. So we're going to start with a few questions, right? I would love to have a conversation broadly about how your experience at SBI is, and the audience would love to know about what your approach is, how you are thinking, not only today but also years down the line, right? So the first question is, when a user lands on your app for the very, very first time, how do you personalize their experience? Like, where do experiments help shape that personalization bit? If you can talk a bit about that.
Sure, sure. So maybe I'll take that question from the time when the user kind of creates an account with us and how do we engage with them. So what happens is that the first communication that you send to the user, you'll send to the user through any channel. It will kind of get you the most of the traction. So, for example, an email read rate is normally around 70-20%, but your first email, it will garner around 60% Right. So with that, it's very critical what you want to convey to the clients. And so I'll maybe tell you the story that how we're trying to nudge the user when they come to our app for the first time. So initially, what we thought that, hey, let's maybe pitch that maybe this is the path that the user has to take and kind of nudge the user in that direction. We started with that. Again, we got some output, um, but later on we figured out that it's not the best approach. It's better that we don't over engineer our first visit. Rather, we keep it simple right now. We ask the user that what do you want. We kind of showcase all the products that we have. So one of the biggest advantages that the user comes to know that SBI Securities has these many products. And second is we kind of get the preference of the customer. So as I said, first interaction gives you the highest response. So we are getting around 35% response on that. And basis that, we are kind of nudging the user how to complete that. And plus, the future nudges are also in line. And we also, and it's not only a single product, right? So if I maybe take this example, then user might select mutual funds, maybe PMS, like intraday. Uh, so we know that what is the user interested in, and like later on we can use this data to kind of renudge them for other products because like user finally wants that. So that's a very effective strategy that we've kind of implemented.
Got it. And uh, as you know, after the first visit, right? Are there like any kind of repeat behaviors or signals that helps you identify if a user really intends to invest? And do you use experimentation for those specific visitors?
Yes. So we track behavior of user across the entire funnel. So we have upper funnel, middle funnel, and lower funnel. So upper funnel can maybe reading educational content or maybe browsing our basic pages. Similarly, we'll have the lower funnel will be adding files or maybe going to the order page. After that, we kind of give scores to each interaction of the user. So if a user is maybe seeing an educational content, it's +2, and if he is kind of going to the order page, it's +5. And basis the overall aggregate score, we kind of then understand what is the level of involvement of the customer in the specific product. So that's split product wise. Once we have that clarity, I mean, basis the frequency, basis the depth of usage of the product, we kind of feed off this all this data in ML models where uh, ML kind of tries to determine the optimum score for each interaction, and it also tries to understand if we need to have any capping on a particular event. So maybe if he is going to a top gainers page, so going 5 times is a cap. After that, it really doesn't add any value. So it will just cap the number there. And finally, when we have the overall score, we kind of nudge the user basis that. So I mean, I would want to maybe spend more or maybe um, like reach out to a customer through various means, including my dealer channel, my feet on street, for people where the score is high. So that's
Got
how
it.
we solve this.
But are you running like experiments around these funnels, around these scores that
Yes,
you're
yes, yes.
giving?
I mean,
Okay.
once you get the numbers, after that there are a lot of experiments which goes on. So as a user, like continuously interacts but does not convert, that's when like models like these really help us. It helps us optimize cost because we have a lot of customers. So like WhatsApp, Meta has recently revised the rates, right? It's again gone upwards. So it helps us like optimize cost, and plus our dealers also have limited bandwidth. So giving them optimum leads is uh, what we have to do. So it'll only happen once we kind of add more logic to it.
Got it. Got it. And you know, when it comes to these kind of investing flows within apps, specifically in India, you know, the Indian market, users need guidance, which has to be kind of a blend between what they're interested in and their financial comfort zone. My question is around how do you combine these behavioral attributes that they're showing and the financial indicators like their engagement, CIBIL score, CIBIL data, all that stuff to personalize the activation more responsibly, more profitably, in a more predictable manner? Is there a way that you combine these things together?
Yes. So all of this data is kind of available to us at one place so that we can kind of segment users and like nudge them according to that. But you're right, investing isn't one size fits all approach. So uh, I would maybe split my entire base into three parts. One is the trading base, which is trying to make money quickly. Second is the swing trading base. They don't want to do intraday, but they are kind of taking positional calls. They want to make money quickly, but again, they're giving some time, maybe 15 days, a month or so. And then there are investors who like want to buy and sit tight. So for each of them, each product, there is a different risk appetite, and we try to measure that by looking at the transactional pattern of the customer. So I know that what is the value the customer is trading and what is the point that they're adding, what is the total AUM with us, plus CIBIL data, plus the KYC data, because um, since we're a broker, there is a really heavy KYC which is to be done, and that kind of empowers us with a lot of data as well. So everything combined, we like use that data to appropriately like nudge the user. However, I would also say that while we try to like ensure that a person who does not have a lot of money should not come in derivatives, but still there are users who come. So I mean, I'd say that's how any risky product is, or for that any I don't want to compare broking with gambling, but
Yeah.
um, like there's a lot of thrill associated with it. So SEBI has like mandated that every broker has to show that 90% of FNO people they make losses,
Lose
and
one.
we do that on every login. But if you ask me, did that deter the customer from maybe placing the first trade or like starting the journey in FNO? The answer is no, because I mean numbers are the same. It's
Mhm.
just that extra layer has been added, and that's maybe because from a uh, psychology perspective, everyone wants to get rich. Correct. So while we are taking measures to do that, the pull of the customer is finally what determines what happens to these customers. So while will have the civil data, all of that, but I mean, I know that if a person wants to do FNO, he will do it. So he'll not wait for us.
Got it. And then this, the civil data, the KYC data, and everything. Are you talking about the post login experience only, or are you trying to monitor behavior pre login net new visitors as well?
Yeah. So I mean, if you're talking about, do we marry this data before account creation?
Mhm.
Uh,
Correct.
like once we have the mobile number of the PI data details of the customer, yes, definitely yes. But before that, it's not possible. And yes, I mean, we definitely take this into account to ensure that once an account is created and people don't even log in on our app or website, which is again a huge drop off, like industry wide,
Yeah.
that's a huge problem. We take that data into account to ensure that we nudge appropriate customers so that they come to our app and kind of ensure that we do justice to the cost which is like spent to get those customers.
Yeah, yeah. My intention of the question was the same. I wanted to know about the drop off, which is an industry issue across brokers. Like, are you doing something there as well? Not only in your app, but I don't know if on your website, or are you doing any kind of anything on that to reduce that drop off or address that drop off?
Yes. So if you're talking about maybe account open and
Yes.
login not done drop off, where the account is opened but the user has not yet maybe logged into our app, what we try to do was we try to understand who are these users and why are they not logged into our app. So what has changed? Because doing KYC again requires. I know that it's not difficult anymore. It just requires 5 minutes or maybe 4 minutes, but still user has like invested a lot of time there, so they have done uh, penny drop or reverse penny drop, they have done like given their Aadhaar card, they have done e-sign. So I mean there are friction points where a lot of drop off is there, but if the customer has done it why have they not invested? And when we spoke to those customers, um, we realized that their priorities have changed. But there are various reasons, with the major one being the priority and the importance that they have to
Mm,
investing. It's just not there. They say, "Hi, yes, we'll do," but they're not like it's not clear to them that this is a very important aspect in anyone's life. So henceforth, we also take that initiative. Maybe in the maybe after 15-20 days, if the customer has opened an account in 15-20 days, they've not kind of logged in,
mm,
that we say, tell them how are the markets doing, how are different stocks doing, and kind of uh, derive FOMO like through actual numbers, that hey, this is something you should do. We also compare this with FD and gold, because a lot of people, they have money and they just park it in FD or gold. They don't know what are the other things, and even though if they know share market, like they don't actively participate in it. So we regularly nudge them, hey, maybe this time period gold has given this much returns. By the way, gold has done very well recently.
yeah.
But at least FD we compare and do it. We do that regularly to ensure we have more logins.
Got it. Got it. No, that's interesting. Is since we are talking more around experimentation around those specific flows, I was just wondering, and I ask this question a lot, that have you run an experiment recently or in the past few months, I would say, whether in onboarding or activation, that kind of changed the way you look at how user behaves or what actually drives conversion? Has that kind of a experience happened to you?
Yes, yes. So um, initially, I thought that if a user's intent is strong, like users would jump through any hoop to like do whatever they want to do. But I was wrong. So I've seen that even solving small friction points, like maybe cluttered UI or maybe reducing one extra click, it can kill a conversion. I mean, every small change can, I'm not saying it will have a huge impact, but every small change also has a lot of impact, especially if you're kind of targeting newcomers or people who are new to broking. If you have a cluttered UI, they'll just get lost. You have to make it as simple as possible, and we have kind of experimented by uh, giving them various journeys, one with a simpler journey, and the second is maybe feature rich journey.
Mm,
At least for activations, I can tell you for sure, a simple journey works the best, and that's why um, maybe if I talk about mutual funds, why Ind Money will be the best journey or Grow will be the best journey. It's just because they have uncluttered UI. They have taken the call to remove few things from their UI, um, which is a very difficult call to take. If you ask me, like really
mm,
prioritizing that, okay, this thing we can go away with because we know that the customer needs it. But yeah, maybe not providing so much customization and giving like clean UI is a very good thing, because it reduces cognitive load, like which definitely improves conversion
got
than
it.
any other.
So reducing the number of variables, let's just say,
Yes.
making got it. Okay. Earlier in this conversation, you were talking about the ML scoring mechanism, which is kind of
Yes.
in-house to SBI, correct? And I think we had a BFSI event as well where you spoke about the same. Uh,
Yes.
Really interested to know, how do you use this score as a part of your experimentation on what users actually see, what kind of journeys they go through, and the nudges also. Like, how are you marrying um, the scoring with experimentation? If you could just add some more color on that.
Sure, sure. So, I mean, uh, my team is split across different growth owners who
Mm,
handle different products. So, we have this score for each of the products, and they kind of take those numbers and ensure that if someone who has high intent but like has not invested in the said product, uh, the end goal is to ensure that they invest or they kind of subscribe to that product. So whenever a new NFO comes in, if you're talking about mutual funds, new NFO comes in, or maybe there's some scheme which for which SIP was suspended and just has resumed.
mm,
Um, you know, send those details to the clients. Maybe one more example could be sending the IPO details, because what you've seen that people who invest in IPO, uh, like 50% of them, they just come for listing gains. So if I know that a customer was shown interest in IPO, but not invested in IPO, then, and I know that through this scoring that they're very much interested, I'll ensure that they get details about what is the listing gain for various IPOs which happen nearby, or give some analytics around it, that maybe um, like 15 out of 20 IPOs gave X% returns, or
Mhm.
something like that, through which they are able to, I mean, we kind of uh, get a recall from them that hey, they wanted to invest in an IPO, and uh, maybe it got missed. And we also do that if a user has seen an IPO,
Mhm.
specific IPO, and they didn't invest in it, and again, if we have listing gains or loss, we inform them directly. That is also a very good advantage there. I mean, we've seen good uplift there as well.
Got it. So, kind of, if I'm reading you correct, like you are also trying to be kind of a thought leader as it relates to, pushing people into those funnels who might be interested in IPOs and then informing them about other IPOs, average returns, something like that. Is that
Yes,
yeah?
but along with that, I would also say that I mean, we are trying to customize the journey basis these scores. As I
Mhm.
said before, also maybe an uncluttered UI is good for newcomers. Similarly, if I know that a customer is interested in a product, he'll maybe see a lot of my app telling that hey, like things about that specific product, versus someone who's not exploring, he'll get basic things. So maybe you can check that in our app. If you show interest in IPO, you'll see a lot of nudging happening around IPO, like
Got it.
from educational to maybe giving details about the IPOs, to giving analytics about the IPOs, and maybe giving user feedback about IPOs, how was their experience and all. So yeah, we try to do that.
Got it. So, kind of value driven nudges, let's just say, as you go through the journey.
Perfect.
Got it. In our experience, we have seen a lot of fintech products or apps. What they do is they really push. I mean, these growth teams, they push visitors for more signups to justify the acquisition spend that they do, in getting users to sign up. Do you think, in your experience, that is the correct approach, or would you think it would be better if teams focus more on high intent signals? I mean, the focus should be on intent signals to maximize value for the business overall and better outcomes for the users. Or what is your opinion about this?
So, like, focus should obviously be on high intent signals. That
Mm.
goes without a doubt, because that's where the true value lies. That's where you'll get phenomenal ROI, and more than that, you'll get a sustainable business, like something which stays for 20 years rather than 20 days. However, I also have a point of view that, like, for from a point of view of acquisition, I've seen that many companies, they kind of spend close to 2,000, 3,000 per account. I mean, it can vary according to industry, but if you have done that, it doesn't matter. You spend 5 rupees more for trying to nudge and get the account to you. However, I believe that it should not be a hard sell. So, I mean, if you're maybe calling the customer, and like, even though if he's not interested or she's not interested, you try to force it down their throat and they'll take it. Uh, but again, I don't think so. That's something which will bring value. Um, because I mean, those customers, the quality will be low. They'll churn quickly, and I mean, finally, like, it will be difficult to justify the ROI of the calling, because callers again have a lot of cost. So maybe not going that extreme. Maybe yes, you can go to that extreme for users if you know that yeah, the user is very important for you. If you know, maybe through Sibyl, that yeah, it's this is a user worth pursuing. then definitely yes, you can maybe take that call. But like bringing a lot of people or a lot of volume, I mean, that might just lead to more junk accounts, which will also lead to uh, a lot of future costs, because there are a lot of like hidden operational costs which are not visible to everyone. So I mean, it can be
Mhm.
from view of the servicing cost, the compliance cost, um, the communications cost. Like every communication that we send has cost, right? And they're regulatory in nature, so you have to send. Uh, so I guess yes, there has to be fine balance between it, but yes, focus should 100% be on the heightened signals. There's no doubt about that.
Got it. Got it. Yep. Yeah, we also believe the same. I think intent signals and high intent signals are of critical importance, especially in these journeys that you're designing. Uh, Vipul, one more thing, you spoke at length about the ML models that you are using internally with a scoring mechanism, right? Let's move from slightly from ML to AI. How do you see AI enhancing your activation journey beyond the ML models that you're using right now? For example, the nudges that you give throughout these journeys, the timing of these nudges, those value added snippets that you were talking about, right? That say someone is interested in IPO. Uh, are you doing anything as it relates to implementing AI there? What are your early learnings? Anything that you can add on that front?
Yeah, definitely. So, I mean, if you're talking about what we are doing, I mean, we definitely see the best timing to nudge, the best channel to nudge,
Mhm.
all of that is there. And that really helps because, I mean, it's kind of a one-on-one understanding of the customer, uh, which kind of gives you a better ROI and better experience. However, like if you ask me, how do I see the AI picture coming into place? I mean, AI is far more superior than any PhD expert, I would say,
Yeah, yeah.
in a particular subject, and it kind of knows everything. Like, if I talk about, I mean, since you have restricted me to marketing, I'll be there, but I mean, it's much more broader than that. Uh, but on marketing and product, I would say that AI will help customize the experience to the nth level, because currently when we are doing all the customizations, it is the segments that we are creating and we have limitations. So I mean, I can, or for that matter, my team would have created only 10 variants or maybe 15 variants. 15 segments will get 15 types of nudges. But when AI comes into picture, it'll be much more. I mean, it'll kind of
Mhm.
help to segment users maybe in 1,000 cohorts, in 1,500 cohorts, and kind of determine the perfect nudge in the language that they prefer and the tonality that they want. I mean, this is just impossible to give manually. So AI will definitely do that, which will kind of give a lot more conversions. And additionally, I mean, I believe the AI's biggest role will not be in selling. Yes, it will definitely be in selling, but it will be more on the contextual support. So, I mean, I can imagine that once AI is kind of deeply integrated in an application, it will notice that a user is struggling with a rejected order, or they're facing some issues. They're like rage clicking on something, and AI will understand why is that happening, and it will kind of solve it then and there itself. The entire loop that we currently have, that user is like trying, he does not understand. He calls customer support. There's waiting, or even if there's no waiting, like the customer supports again. He has to explain everything and then tell. I mean, that takes a lot of time, and there are, if you ask me, there are a lot of drop offs, hidden drop offs in this entire process. All of that could be solved with AI if we kind of deploy it properly, which kind of helps gives the experience that I was talking about. Yeah.
Got it. Got it. Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's going to completely redefine how we think of how visitors go through these funnels and what we can
Yes.
improve. Like the example that you mentioned, right? Right now, it might be 10 buckets or 10 different segments, and it can be 1,000 segments or more than that for those hyper personalized experiences. Um,
Yes.
the Indian investor ecosystem is complex, that, as you would know, right? A lot of people, there's a big aspect of education. There's a big aspect of risk that's also there. Um, I want to go more on the risk part slightly. That some of these actions, investing, derivatives trading, some of the more riskier parts, they do carry consequences. Um, what kind of safeguards, like, are these just notifications that you put into place? What kind of safeguards right now do you put into place before personalizing or nudging those in those sensitive kind of areas where you, if you know that a certain cohort might be sensitive to a certain product? If you can just tell me, how are you approaching it?
So So we take a very cautious approach there. What we do
Mhm.
is that, like, not just derivatives, it can also be stocks. If you know that
Yeah,
there's a
anything. Yeah.
stock which is very risky in nature, then we kind of ensure that we nudge the customer before placing an order. Hey, this is a high risk stock. And why is it a high risk stock? We kind of mention that we have ASM, GSM nudges there. Uh, Plus, I mean, additionally, what we do is that before nudging a user towards derivatives, we ensure that they have some basic knowledge or threshold. So, I mean, we also ensure that if there are deep in the money options,
Hmm.
uh, sorry, my bad. If there's a deep out of the money options, then we ensure that I mean, that is not visible to a new user directly through search,
Hmm.
because the probability of making losses there is huge. So, I mean, we have tried to build the product that way, that if there is a probability of huge loss, we at least inform the customer, or as a cautious step, that at least for derivatives, when we know that deep out of the market will, like, most probably lead to a lot of loss, and that will be like eroding of the entire capital, because normally people buy options, they don't sell options, because selling options requires more margin. So to safeguard them, that's the approach that we take.
Got it. And there must be SEBI regulations as well driving some of these actions on your
Yes, yes,
end.
definitely, yes. There's no doubt about it. So SEBI is also very careful around that. Plus,
Hmm.
um, what they do, I mean, what they did is they kind of changed the expiry regulations and all, because a lot of business for broking, it happens in expiry for derivatives.
Yeah.
So I mean, the volume spike up, and the only reason is that expiry day is a zero day. So either you will make like multifold money, so your money will become 2x, 3x. It can become, I'm not saying it will,
Mhm.
uh, or it can become zero. I mean, it
Correct.
can be either zero or it will go
Mhm.
multifold. So that's where most of the business was. But SEBI has changed regulations that regarding the expiry days that it can have, so that, like, significantly impacted our entire business. And plus, they're coming up with more regulations also,
Mhm.
where, I mean, we have to do suitability about like, about the customer and all. And as I said earlier, also, we had to ensure that we had to showcase that the mandatory derivatives disclosure, which shows that 90% of people make losses. Then 28% of the money um, uh, is basically paid in brokerage of the people making losses. 20%, 28% was paid in
Okay.
brokerage, and also we have such disclosures given.
Got it. Got it. Yeah, it's very important, right, for the Indian investor community. So that's great that you're doing all of this. Final couple of questions, right? I want to go slightly broader, and thank you for those granular pieces around how you are approaching it. But let's talk about SBI and your team, right? SBI Securities. From my understanding, your experimentation framework right now is currently in-house. And in your experience of the Indian investors or the Indian investor community, if you take a very, very broad approach, what kind of experiments or experimentation do you think will really benefit investors? I'm not talking about the businesses, and help them actually grow their investing journey. Is it personalization, hyper personalization? Is it knowledge sharing? What would you say can actually help them grow?
If you ask me, like the biggest thing would be knowledge sharing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, investing and broking is not that complex. However, I've seen that maybe the friends that I have from various IMs,
Yeah.
they also do not know it inside out. And like if they do not know it inside out, like expecting that a tier 2 person or a tier 3 person would know it in that depth, it will be very difficult for them to interpret it. So, and we have kind of tried a lot to educate users, and not just us, like every broker has tried to do that. And I'd say the
Mm-hmm.
best of all would be Zerodha, which they have done through the Varsity platform.
Yeah.
Um, However, if you see the total people who have kind of seen the Varsity or read through the Varsity pages, or maybe they saw the video. They
Mm-hmm.
recently released videos also. When you just open that, you'll realize that the first video has good views, but as you go down, the views decrease like drastically. I would say maybe in the fourth or fifth video, the views will be 1/10 of the first video. So that clearly shows that users they do not have a lot of time to maybe go through everything, and it will mostly be like an approach where they would want to learn only things maybe that are important to them, only the critical things, not all things in depth.
Mm-hmm.
And with that, like uh, definitely, I mean, ensuring that users do not like park their money in wrong instruments or maybe in wrong stocks, especially,
Mm-hmm.
will be a critical aspect. If we tighten that up a bit, it will definitely help us. I mean, um, maybe I talked about the ASM, GSM nudges, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if you ask me, will a user kind of understand it well? The answer will be not. I'm not 100% sure. And that's where maybe we can improve ourselves and kind of like shout through the app,
Mm-hmm.
maybe throw elements to the app that hey, this is like a very risky bet. Like, are you 100% sure? Because uh, what I've observed is there are a handful of people who invest by doing their own research. So if they're following some specific SEBI listed research, that is okay. But that is not normally the case. They follow tips which are given by their like friends, by random people. Then and they
Mm-hmm.
get tips like, hey, like this stock it'll be 2x in 1 year, it will be
Mm-hmm.
5x in 1 year, and like saying no to such narratives, it really becomes difficult. So and maybe urge users to ensure that you know what you're investing in, and like if you are uh, I mean, if this sounds difficult, it's better you park money in pooled investments like mutual funds, which is kind of much safer, or maybe in ETFs,
Mm-hmm.
be it like top index ETFs, or I mean that will be a much better approach than going through the
Yeah,
stock.
going it directly. Yeah, I mean, it's very insightful, right? I mean, the power of experimentation and educating, informing the Indian investor community can be really a big blue ocean territory, uh, right?
I mean, in a way which is kind
Mm,
of consumable by them, easily consumable. So
correct.
I'd say if there's someone who can generate bite-sized content like very effectively, I'm pretty sure that will be a good start.
Wonderful. Vipul, thank you so much for all these questions. They're very insightful, all of your responses, right? We do have a second part of this session, which is more of a rapid fire round. Let me pull up those questions.
Okay.
But rapid fire is rapid fire, right? You cannot really think. These are questions around CRO, maybe certain personal questions. Before that, any special plans for the holidays coming up?
I'll kind of like work on my personal project, so I really have to dedicate time for that. And plus, yes, I'll also
Mm.
spend time with my wife. That's also an important thing to do.
Absolutely, absolutely. So it's like a digital detox that you'll be doing. You plan to do that?
No, to be honest, when I'm talking about the personal projects, it'll involve AI. So I'll kind of build
Interesting.
various things. I'm building various things. So I mean, it'll not be a digital detox for sure.
Got it. Would love to know about a bit of your personal project that you're working on as well. I don't know. Can you share anything? If not, then we'll park it for some other session.
Maybe we can park it for later. I would maybe want to
Sure.
launch it first and like see. But it's more around. Okay, I can maybe give you a
Mhm.
taste of what I'm trying to do. Um, I'm like I want to explore AI to the entire potential. Correct. So I mean, I've explored it. Um, Maybe in the strategizing part,
Mhm.
that's basic, but then video, then like generating music, songs, all of that I've done. But next is I mean, I was a coder before like doing my MBA
Mhm.
and joining the BFSI space. So I am now trying to like build apps, build websites, all of that, like. And um I mean, it's not something that I want to do to earn money. I'd say it's more of to understand how to do things. So I mean, I'm building my own front end, middleware, back end, like end to end. And yeah, using AI, it's much easier. I'd say things
Sure.
that I used to do before, which maybe took me 3 4 months, maybe single handedly, I'm able to do that in like 15 minutes, 30 minutes. So that's a very big thing, and I just want to see the capability of AI. AI, how much can I push it? How much can I get output from it?
Wonderful. No, that's great. That's great. Okay, sounds good. Let's just do the rapid fire questions. There are 9 questions, right? So we'll get started. If you were starting a career in CRO today, what is one thing that you would do differently from what you did in the past?
Like instead of being excited by like things that if there's an exciting idea, I pursue it immediately. I would rather try to dig deeper and figure out if it's worth pursuing.
Hmm.
So I'll do a pain gain analysis, try to understand what's the pain it's like trying to solve, or what's the gain it'll try to give the user. I guess that will be a much better thing to do. So yeah, prioritization would be one thing I would work on.
Wonderful. Is there one thing that your non-industry friends from college or otherwise they don't understand about your job, like what you exactly do?
They don't understand my job at all. So I mean,
Okay,
they know that like I'm trying to do something digitally, but they don't understand what I'm doing. They just know that hey, like something digital. That's it.
got it,
I
got
wish
it.
they knew what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to experiment, like come up with new ideas,
Mm,
like driving digital business, like changing UX, all of that. But yeah, it's very difficult to convey that to them. I mean, especially for people who are not there in the digital world. If they are there in digital world, then definitely they know what it.
got it, got it. And is there like an Indian business professional or a product leader that you look up to?
Yes, I look up to Sam Altman. So I mean, it's very inspiring, kind of listening to him and like seeing what he has developed. Like it's insane.
Mhm.
So, however, I feel that it was a bit of luck because, um, I mean, Google could have launched their AI public like way ahead because they already had a lot of things, but due to maybe ethical concerns, they're not able to do so. But yeah, anyways, an opportunity captured is an opportunity captured. So, but yes, I really respect the, um, I mean, the knowledge that he has, how he delivers things, how he handles teams, and like end to end. So I really aspire to become.
Got it, got it. And what's your go-to travel destination?
Go to like I don't travel much, but I'd say it it would be Europe. So uh, I mean, whenever I have time, whenever I have like a long leave, I tend to go to Europe. Any country is fine because I mean Europe itself is beautiful.
Yes, absolutely. It's stunning, right? Uh, you're very interested in the AI changes, right? That the changes that AI was going to bring over the next few years. What is one thing that you are specifically interested in? What do you think AI will absolutely take over?
Um, I'd say agentic AI because I also trying to build my own AI
Mm-hmm.
agents because that's where the real value is.
Mm-hmm.
Because in my current flow, while I've kind of integrated everything together, so I mean the AI can build the code, see the code, make changes, test, and everything. So I mean that's already done. But if I'm able to create a lot of AI agents which can kind of interact with each other and deliver something, I'm pretty sure that output will be like out of the world. It will be much phenomenal.
Got it. Got it. Uh, if not CRO or your current role, is there a separate profession that would have chosen for yourself?
Um, yes. So I would have ideally continued to be a coder.
Nice.
I had that opportunity. I mean, I was working for Infosys, and at that time also, I was working for a good tech client there, like handling the entire front end. But my friend also said that like this is a better place to be in because tech will grow.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I was like, no, I got into good college, good MBA college, so now like I'll have to leave. So maybe if you give me a chance, I might want to go there, but maybe not now because uh, with AI coming into place, I feel that like I'm better placed than before because earlier I just knew coding. Now I know coding, I know product, I know project management, I know marketing,
Mm-hmm.
like the SEO part, the SEM part as well, and like on top of it, I know growth, business. So uh, I mean that's the I'd say people who are in business right now, or maybe uh, in the intersection between business and tech, they'll benefit a lot from AI. So I mean, let's hope I also kind of benefit from this way.
Got it. Final question: a dream or a goal that you want to achieve in the next 3 years?
Next 3 years, I maybe want to become a CBO of a nice firm. So yeah, let's see that. Let's see
Got it.
if it happens.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. And we'll wrap things up here for today. And Vipul, thank you so much for joining us and for the deep and thoughtful discussion we've had. It was really great to have you on this podcast. And to everyone listening or watching, thank you for tuning in. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe to VWO Podcast so you don't miss what's next. Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot.